So anyhow, but let's talk real quick about Cardi B. So there was a lawsuit that came to trial that ended up in Cardi B's favor because she sued Tasha K, the YouTuber, for defamation because Tasha K was alleging all kinds of things about drugs, prostitution, a lot of stuff. So, as anybody that has been following defamation cases by celebrities knows, a celebrity plaintiff needs to show actual malice. So they need to show that the person who said the lies about them didn't just say them, but they said them knowing that they were false or with reckless disregard as to the truth or falsity. And so basically what happened at this trial is Tasha K said on the stand as a witness to the jury, she said, I knew that probably what I was saying was false and I said it anyway. And oh, by the way, that's my business and that's what I do for work and I make money off of that. So that's why there were $4 million that were allocated from Tasha K's pocket to Cardi B's pocket. And then, you would think that after such a terrible loss by Tasha K, that she would kind of, maybe take a step back, re-examine her life a little bit, and maybe think, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff. Maybe I should have a little bit of humility here. Maybe. But that's not what happened here. That is not what happened here. That is not what happened at all. Not by a long stretch. She doubled down. She went onto her channel and said, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to fight this. I'm going to appeal it. I'm going to appeal it all the way up to the Supreme Court, even though the Supreme Court really would not take a case like this because it's not a Supreme Court case. This is a very easy case. Most likely, I don't know what her appeal is going to be on, like what basis.
That's what I would like to know. What are
There's
you
none. She admitted it. She literally admitted she said it. So I mean, it's like a non-issue. It's like she said that she said it. So case closed. Stop.
Maybe she just wants the spotlight.
Maybe. The reason she's here, the reason she's got a $4 million judgment against her is because she wanted the spotlight. I don't think there's a maybe here. There's no maybe.
Yeah, so. So she actually filed a notice of appeal in this case, and so there's no actual appeal brief that has been filed yet. So there's a briefing schedule. So by April 27th, 2022, she has to file her brief. And then 30 days after that, 30 days after service of that appeal, I should say, let's see. Yeah, that's, I think when Cardi's response is due. But this is so brainless that it seems to me like Cardi B is now also going to probably get her legal fees connected to the appeal paid for.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Well, that's what happened with Donald Trump, by the way. Stormy Daniels, who owes $300K to Donald Trump, just said today that she's not going to pay a dime of it. And I mean, she's going down the same road as Stormy Daniels and Michael Avenatti. If you guys know a little bit about that guy,
those are great role models to follow.
Yes, Stormy and Michael. And it's like, this does not end well for people who fight this and drag this out. The fees just add up.
They do, and they add up so quickly too. I mean, it just to file the brief, I would imagine. But and it's funny because the filings so far look like they're the same lawyers that tried the case. So biller's gonna bill, right? If somebody's gonna pay you. But I mean,
the harsh reality of that, by the way, I remember going back like 20 years ago, I was on a case and I was up against a big firm and they filed like a motion to dismiss. And it was like this thick, okay? This big firm, and we knew back then they were charging like $700, $800 an hour. Now it would be twice that. But they like there was a co-defendant who was there with me, and that attorney, he holds it up. He goes, you know what this is? This is a Lexus. That's what this costs. This document here literally costs a Lexus, and just dropped it down. It's like, that's what we started here, Joe. I'm like, yeah, there you go. All right.
Yep.
Go us. It's literally one document, like one filing costs a Lexus. It's insane how the legal fees just accrue and just boom, boom, boom. It's, you know, hundreds of dollars an hour, and the hour is just in the bills, just, and it gets reviewed, and everything gets reviewed, and you have 3 different attorneys who are working on it, and then the senior guy looks it over, and all of them have their separate hours, and all comes in one big fat bill.
And yet people still complain about paying $1,000 an hour. But would it be worth, is it not worth $1,000 an hour if you pay 1 hour for an attorney to tell you this is a horrible idea? Stop this madness right now. It's worth $1,000. I was debating that with my friend here tonight. It's like, it is worth it to pay attorneys a lot of money sometimes because they'll tell you, they'll get you to avoid stuff like this. I feel like her attorneys just didn't do it. They didn't do a good job.
Well, I think her attorney also doesn't specialize in these types of cases, if I'm not mistaken. I think she was kind of whatever come in the door attorney. But with Tasha K, she should probably get a different attorney because her attorney didn't really argue for her in her closing arguments. And on top of that, this is not a case she usually does, but she's probably the only attorney that would take the case because the appeal is ridiculous.
Yeah, because it's such a terrible case.
Terrible. You go in there, the first thing you say is, we need to settle this. I will say this. When someone gets a judgment, like literally, the percentages of judgments that are ever executed upon at all is roughly, they say 79% of all judgments get 0 collection. And if you want to count the number that get full collection, it's like 2% get like full collection. But there's literally, if there's 4 out of 5 winners, people who get judgments never see a single dime, and they were damaged, they got hurt, then spend tens of thousands on a plaintiff's attorney, and then they never see a dime. When you consider the fact, just to make those numbers even more horrifying, understand that even includes cases where there's an insurance company, and when an insurance company loses and they lose their appeal, they ultimately pay. So when you're talking about an individual defendant paying, not backed by an insurance company, the numbers are far more horrific. So if you're Cardi B, if you can see $500,000 out of this, you're ecstatic. And that's why if you're counsel for the defendant and you know anything about this, you basically sit there and you're like, look, we'll give you $50,000. Otherwise, she's going to file bankruptcy and we're out of here. And that's how you start your negotiation on this $4 million judgment. So you don't end up paying anything like the $4 million. And you make it clear, look, Cardi, your whole thing here is you wanted to clear your name. You wanted to make the statement. You got all the PR you wanted. You have this thing here. You want her to file for bankruptcy, or do you want her to, or you want to see some money on this? And we'll kick out
but Joe, this is not. Look, see, I agree with you, Joe, but
Cardi might say, "I don't care about."
She's not judgment proof. No, she's not judgment proof.
She's not.
She's not. No, because you can just. I mean, literally, we know her revenue stream. It's YouTube. You can garnish her YouTube royalties. Like, we literally know where it's coming from.
How big a channel does she have? How big is she?
It's relatively large.
1 million, I think. Or she does have 1 million, I think. But then I think she lost some subscribers.
Oh, she's screwed.
But I think realistically,
we don't hear you.
I slapped my mic because I got so worked up over judgment proof people. I'm just saying, like, it's so. And the thing is, you're either judgment proof or you're sophisticated enough to be able to create enough entities, declare bankruptcy, do whatever to hide your money. If you're ultra wealthy, they're never going to get you. If you're poor, they're never going to get you. It's only some schmucks in the middle who get got.
Yeah, well, or if you don't move to Florida, because if you move to Florida, that's debtor's heaven. It is impossible to execute. I don't know how.
Welcome to Florida, baby.
There's so many exceptions and so many protections. That's like if you're the primary income earner, you can't garnish a person's wages. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? This guy, so if this guy's bringing in like $10 million a year and he's the primary income for the family, I'm not allowed to garnish his wages because he gets exemption automatically. That's the way it is in Florida. Every state is very, very different.
I'm not necessarily. I may be on the other side of this. I'm not pro creditor here at all. I think that's great. I mean, I am not a fan. I think there's a lot of sham judgments that are entered out there. I really think there should be strong protections.
I can have this debate with you because I think you're mistaken.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it another time.
No, okay.
Another time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that in this kind of a case, I think generally speaking in defamation cases, particularly, and especially when they're brought by celebrities, I think that they care a little bit less about the money and more about clearing their name. So in this case, like Cardi B, $4 million means not much to her. Like maybe it means something to her, but realistically, she can come out with another album with more music videos with, like whatever. She can make that in however little time, however, whatever she wants to do. And the same thing with a lot of these other people, if they win their case, because then a jury of 12 people have said, this person lied about you, and then you can go back to your industry and say, this person lied about me, so uncancel me, essentially.
I will point out, by the way, Cardi B, $4 million. Her net worth is $40 million. So it's not like it's an insignificant. It's not like she's got like hundreds of millions. That's an insignificant amount. It's definitely something she would notice if she could collect them with $4 million. I happen to Google that right now, where I saw on Celebrity Net Worth, she's four. It's not the same thing like $4 million would be to you or me. For her, but it's not like she's not that level celebrity where she's like amassed hundreds of millions that she can just write off $4 million and forget about it.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
But I will also say that given where Cardi B started, to her, however much she has now, she's like, whatever, I can live on a hell of a lot less than this.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
sorry for cutting you off there.
No, it's fine. So yeah, but I really think that's the main piece for most if not all of these cases that are celebrity defamation cases, because they're saying, like, my name has been dragged through the mud and I don't want to stop at a settlement. I want to go all the way to trial and have a jury tell the world the truth. That is my side, my narrative. So yeah. Anyhow.
That is a big part of it beyond the money. It's the reputation.
It's the reputation. It's also disincentivizing them, right? I mean, just like with Disney, they are strong litigators that disincentivizes people to sue Disney because they know they will pro hoc vice. They'll have to pro hoc vice into 50 states to fight Disney because they're going to come at you from every angle with every lawyer. I'm not even joking right now. Like they'll throw so much money at you for nothing, for literally nothing. So it's brought it to a level where people settle with Disney. There's certain car insurance companies that do the same thing. They fight almost anything. They're known for that. So the defense, or rather the litigators that are opposed to them, they actually end up settling for a little bit lower because they know they're going to fight them on every nickel and dime. It's easier just to settle the case.